Hello, welcome to week 7 of language and literacy. And this week's topic is all about writing as a process. So we are going to talk about how there are many ways to get children to enjoy writing and not to fear it. So one of the ways that we can do it is by using mentor texts. So a mentor text can be any book that children enjoy, and you can use it as a springboard to then do either shared writing with the whole group, or you can even just focus on one thing, like perhaps you're focusing on using adjectives in your writing, or maybe adverbs, or you're talking about, maybe you're starting to work in figurative language. Mentor texts are invaluable. So I'm going to share with you a mentor text to get kids to write about themselves or about the fun things in school. So this is called The Important Book. It's by Margaret Wise Brown. She is most famous for Goodnight Moon. I'm sure most of you know that. So I'm going to read to you The Important Book, and then we're going to do a mini lesson, writing lesson, and I'll walk you through it. All right, here we go. The important thing about a daisy is that it is white. It is yellow in the middle. It has long white petals, and bees sit on it. It has a ticklish smell. It grows in green fields, and there are always lots of daisies. But the important thing about a daisy is that it is white. Let's see what's on the next page. The important thing about rain is that it is wet. It falls out of the sky, and it sounds like rain and makes things shiny. And it does not taste like anything and is the color of air. But the important thing about rain is that it is wet. The important thing about grass is that it is green. It grows and is tender with a sweet grassy smell. But the important thing about grass is that it is green. The important thing about snow is that it is white. It is cold and light. It falls softly out of the sky. It is bright and the shape of tiny stars and crystals. It is always cold and it melts. But the important thing about snow is that it is white. The important thing about an apple is that it is round. It is red. You bite it and it is white inside, and the juice splashes in your face, and it tastes like an apple and it falls off a tree. But the important thing about an apple is that it is round. The important thing about the wind is that it blows. You can't see it, but you can feel it on your cheek and see it bend trees and blow hats away and sail boats. But the important thing about the wind is that it blows. The important thing about the sky is that it is always there. It is true that it is blue and high and full of clouds and made of air. But the important thing about the sky is that it is always there. The important thing about a shoe is that you put your foot in it, you walk in it, and you take it off at night. And it's warm when you take it off. But the important thing about a shoe is that you put your foot in it. The important thing about you is that you are you. It is true that you were a baby and you grew, and now you are a child, and you will grow into a man or a woman. But the important thing about you is that you are you. And that's the end. This is a very sweet, simplistic book. Also very subjective, because the important thing about anything can be different from one person to the other. So what children like to do is write about themselves, or write about their friends, or write about the animals that they love. And we have a beloved cat at our school named Hobbs, and he happens to be sleeping right over here in one of my chairs that I use to read aloud in. I'll show you Hobbs. He's a sweet kitty. Here he is. He's a good boy. He immediately starts purring as soon as I even say his name. He comes into our classroom. He wanders in and out of all the classrooms. He's definitely the cat, the classroom cat. So we're going to write an important book about Hobbs, or an important page, I should say. So here I have my whiteboard ready to go. I use this when I do my writer's workshops. And I have some of the words already written out. The important thing about. So we'll write Hobbs. Oh, here he comes. Here's Hobbs. He's always got to be in the action. The important thing about Hobbs. It is true that he is a cat. He loves to purr. He loves to snuggle. He loves to take naps. And he loves to catch mice. But then you repeat line one. Repeat line one. But the important thing about Hobbs is that he is a cat. So here's my mentor text translated into something that is a shared experience and meaningful to all the students in my classroom, and they will want to write that down. But then after I've got them used to doing this, then they can write about themselves and we can turn it into a classroom book. So each child would have an important page about themselves. So like, for instance, if I wrote it about myself, the important thing about Kelly is that she is a teacher. She loves to teach children. She loves to sing. She loves to read. She loves to play in the yard. But the important thing about Kelly is that she is a teacher. That could be my page. A child would write completely different things because it would be completely of their own opinion and their own viewpoint. And then we could bind them all together and have a class book, and it could be the important book of the lower elementary classroom, Dancing Pines Lower L. And what a gem. And the children can go back to it over and over again, and they can read about each other. They can learn more words because it's meaningful to them. And it's talking about their friends, which that's always more fun. So getting children to write can be hard, but if you use the right tools, then you can make it a little bit easier, certainly more fun. The more fun you make it, the less groaning you will have when it's time for a writer's workshop. Okay, that's just one little example. I hope you liked it.